purpose of Mandela Day is to unite our nation and compel us to create a better world for future generations. Together with Breadline Africa and the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation, Archbishop Desmond Tutu is doing exactly that, spreading love and light.
Repurposed as pop-up creches and kitchens, containers like these are being refurbished across South Africa in the latest campaign by Breadline Africa. The goal is to overcome conditions in under-resourced communities and give children a foundation to their education. This library container at the V&A Waterfront is here to raise awareness of the project, and you don't get better publicity than a visit from arguably the most famous South African alive today.
One of the most fundamental keys to life is reading. When you can read, nothing will empower you more than education and knowledge. And nobody believes this more than the Archbishop Desmond Tutu and his daughter, Reverend Tutu, who we have a privilege of chatting to today.
In the very beginning, long ago, God's love bubbled over when there was nothing else.
Any subject is accessible to a young mind when presented by such a storyteller.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Reverend Paul, such a great honor to meet you. As such inspiring people, locally and across the world, why is it so important to remember to give back?
Because we have been so gifted and so privileged. It's really important to be able to give back what has really in fact been lent to us to pass on. And you can give back even in poverty. Just an act of kindness is an act of giving back.
For me, reading is probably the most important thing a child could ever learn. Why did you decide to get involved with the Breadline Foundation?
Even when you lived in a very poor location, as they were then called, your imagination helped you to rise above all this. You could imagine flying in an aeroplane. You could imagine riding a horse even when you didn't have a horse. You could imagine visiting different countries, even when it was not happening, but it was building up. The reading skill made learning more enjoyable than it would otherwise have been. So I want to say, first of all, to our children, reach for the stars. The sky really is the limit. God has given you gifts. Please develop them to the fullest possible extent.
I have to just tell you that I'm going to do something that I know every single South African wants to do every time they hear you speak, which is give you the biggest hug and just say thank you for loving our country as much as you do and for being such an inspiring man. You're a wonderful man.
Take as long as you like.
A child's learning starts long before they enter the formal education of a primary school. Therefore, the Container Campaign, headed by Puleng Buku, aims to provide a safe space for that important stage of development to happen.
Why do you personally feel so strongly about being part of this foundation?
Breadline Africa is about empowering people that are already doing something for themselves. And I love that. I love that concept. I love that we're saying to people, continue doing what you're doing. We will just support you and strengthen and facilitate and encourage you to do further. And as this month being Mandela month, I think it's perfect that these are the kind of things that we're talking about right now.
So there is a whole day of activities lined up. What else can we expect?
The Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation uplift Joe Slovo community. So we are getting those ECD centers that they're supporting. We're getting those kids to come and visit the waterfront. Some of them, it's their first time at the waterfront, to visit the aquarium, the big wheel, the pirate boat, and obviously we'll provide some meal for them and run activities in these very containers for them.
Far from the waterfront in Cape Flats communities like Heideveld, we witnessed the effects these pop-up creches, like little bright stars, can have where the children live. Far from simply covering the story, our crew and staff insisted on getting involved too.
For our 67 minutes for Mandela Day, Top Billing Office decided to visit the Little Bright Stars. As you can see that we are decorating cupcakes with the little kiddies. We've been face painting. They look like they're having an amazing time. We're definitely enjoying it. And one thing I can say is that they're definitely Little Bright Stars.
Helping prepare children for prep school, the containers make Principal Grace Vidboy's job much easier.
Previously we were in a slum area that was dilapidated, and now we have classrooms, 2 classrooms, a kitchen, a toilet, separate girls and boys. The classrooms are small, which allows us to have quality teaching with small groups. And this year our focus with our 10th anniversary is on quality, and small groups allows us to have this. So the containers meets those requirements, although there are many other needs we still have, but we're working on those.
What I like the most today is the cupcakes. What I like the most today is the face painting.
Books, blankets and educational toys are welcomed at waterfront donation bins or via the Breadline Africa or Tutu Legacy Foundation websites.